Gender, Labor and Social Development. I extend our warm greetings to each of you. We are delighted to host this gathering of partners who are committed to advancing the aspirations of the 23rd Agenda for Sustainable Development and Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Ladies and gentlemen, we are meeting when the world and indeed our continent faces profound development challenges, from rising debt burden and climate shocks to persistent poverty and gender inequality. And like Carol stated, there are inequalities in gender, but there are those which are multiple-faced, especially when somebody is disabled, is a female, is old or very young, is from a remote place, is from a culture that does not even want to contain women. So when you have such challenges, you are multiple discriminated. So the journey towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal has been uneven and in some areas regressive. Out of 144 specific goals, I was made to learn that we have been able to achieve 14 out of 144. Only 14 is what we can count on in Africa. And I don't think we've achieved 100%. Even with those 14, we are struggling, but getting towards there. Yet there is hope. And that hope lies in inclusive, coordinated, and innovative responses that place people at the center of development. That is why this workshop is very, very important. Engaging major groups and other stakeholders is not just a formality, it's necessity. We know for a fact that for us in Uganda, the private sector has been so instrumental in supporting government, especially in education. We can proudly say that at least we have achieved gender equity in enrollment in education, both at primary and secondary. And even at completion level, there is a balance. There is a gender equity where we have about 46% female and 54% male. Engaging these groups, therefore, is critically important because they are partners in development. They bring local knowledge, lived experience, scientific insights, and the passion to transform policies into real impact. In Uganda, we have seen firsthand inclusive diversion voices enriching development outcomes, like I had already stated. Whether through youth-led innovative, or women-led cooperatives, or community-led climate action, our people have shown that when empowered, they can be agents of sustainable development. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, this workshop, organized in partnership with the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and the African Region Mechanism for Major Groups and other stakeholders, has timely and urgent objectives. To equip major groups and other stakeholders with the tools and information needed to participate meaningfully in the regional forum. To reflect on the progress and challenges Africa faces in implementing the SDGs and Agenda 2063. To spotlight the contributions of stakeholders in shaping scientific-based and evidence-based solutions, and to amplify a unified voice that will feed into the African position at the high-level political forum in New York later in this year. This is not merely a technical exercise. It is a platform for solidarity, dialogue, and advocacy. It is a space to shape the future we want for Africa, a future that is equitable, just, inclusive, and sustainable. Distinguished participants, I want to thank the UNECA for its continued commitment to facilitate multi-stakeholders engagement and ensure that civil society and grassroots voices are not left behind. We particularly appreciate UNECA hosting for the Secretariat for the African Region mechanism and its ongoing support to this critical process. To all our major groups and stakeholders, partners here today, your work is critical. Your voices matter, and your ideas are the seed for which real transformation will grow. As we begin this workshop, I urge you to be bold, be creative, and collaborate. For sure, there are things that we may not go back to because either they have been overtaken by events or the challenges that we face ahead are too strong that some things may be washed down. Like in the face of very serious conflicts, armed conflicts, while we are still struggling to look for arms or we are still struggling to negotiate, you may not easily talk about gender and anybody listens. Gender seems to be the last thing you can talk about at that particular point. So in this particular event or circumstance, we have to look forward for the things that we must catch up with, like AI, innovative technology. These are things that we have to look down and say, if there are people who are discriminated, can we do something that brings AI closer to them and they concentrate on these machines? Women know that private space is their space. Generally, no one can deny women from having a private space, although we should also be in the public and we're struggling to be there. But if you can get close to machines and get to AI and train even yourself at home, what I think you critically need is the wireless band to your premise, a computer, and the rest you can struggle and access. Access to land and environmental protection does not discriminate. The diverse nature we are facing now, hunger and all that, will require that women get access to land. Because environment right now, particularly in Uganda, which I'm very conversant with the Great Lakes region as well, you'll get to realize because of the discrimination of women from access to land is what has caused much of the environmental distress and disorder. They organize themselves into groups and get to no man's land. They'll get to the wetlands and cultivate that because they have not given an opportunity to own land where they are born, neither do they own where they are married. But they are the ones who till the land by 65% here in Uganda. They are the ones who fend. They are the ones involved in agriculture. So where do they do it? How do they access food? How do they access money to take their children to schools? So they will invade those particular areas unless we get out of our old thinking and accept that they should own land either by purchase or deliberately. We review the laws and policies, which we have done in Uganda. And because we have understood that they also do not want to go to the banks or they don't want to go to big offices, so we have developed the software. Now we are using the software, technology that is available for them to access land. They can process a title and the title will be delivered to their hands where they are in their villages. And with that innovation, there has been a growth from access to land by women from 13% to now 44%, which I think is progressive. So Uganda is profound to be your host. Let us walk this path together for the benefit of our nation, our region, and most importantly, our people. I thank you so much and wish you fruitful deliberations with God's blessings as you stay in our beautiful motherland, Uganda.